Good evening, Kettering. Welcome to the regular scheduled City of Kettering Planning Commission meeting for April 7th, 2025. The Planning Commission is a volunteer, independent body appointed by council, whose mission is to hear all bodies involved and subsequently make a motion to approve, deny, continue, or recommend the application. All action by the commission can be appealed to the City of Council. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Miami Valley Cable Council for televising and taping tonight's meeting for rebroadcast on Channel 6 and streaming live over the internet at mvcc.net. It will also be recorded and available later for viewing on mvcc.net. Since this meeting is both audio and videotaped to form a complete record for possible appeal to City Council and or the courts, it is important that anyone who wishes to address the commission will need to come to the lectern, speak into the microphone, and give their name and address for the record. So let me start off with introductions. Tonight in the Planning Commission, we have this. To my far left is Ken Lackey, Assistant Secretary, Carol Fisher, Secretary, Connie Gall, Recording Secretary. To my immediate right is Ray Waskey, Vice Chair, and to my far right is Don Rethman, Commissioner, and I am Troy Urbis, Chairman. Representing City of Kettering staff today is Dave Roller, City Planner. With that, we will follow our agenda, and we start off with our first order of business is approval of the minutes of February 3rd, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve these minutes?
Mr. Chair, I have read the minutes and I found them to be in order, so I move for their approval.
We have a first. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Rothman, thank you. Mr. Roy, would you, or Connie, I'm not used to that. Connie, would you call roll for us tonight, please?
Okay. Mr. Waskey?
Yes.
Mr. Rethman?
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher?
Abstain.
Mr. Lackey?
Yes.
And Mr. Urbis?
Yes. All right, moving on to new business. We have for us tonight the zoning map amendment, rezoning of property at 2325 Warrington Pike from O Office to BP Business Park. Planning Commission case PC-25-003. This will be a public hearing. So we'll start off with staff presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Urbis. We have received an application from city staff to rezone property located at 2325 Wilmington Pike. You'll see it here on the screen. It's outlined in a dashed red line. The property, it consists of municipal courts and then also Building 46, which was part of the former DESI installation at the property. Building 46 is currently vacant. The property occupies the southeast corner of the Kettering Business Park. Kettering Business Park also is home to Amazon Distribution, which is to the north, as well as Solvita, which is a warehouse associated with the Community Tissue Center, and that is just to the west. The intersection of Wilmington Pike and 4 is just to the north of this property. And that would be the major intersection closest. The proposed district change would be from the current designation of O Office, which you see here in it's kind of a orangish color. You'll see that most of the property around here is zoned O Office as well on the screen. What the proposal is to take the properties that we have and rezone those to BP, which is a business park designation. The remainder of the Kettering Business Park is zoned BP Business Park. So this is kind of the last remaining element of the O Office district here at the park, and this is the part that the City of Kettering owns. So they are proposing to change that. Really, what this is about is bringing things into better alignment. So the uses that you would expect to see at a business park are more of an industrial type nature, but the O Office district is very narrowly tailored. It only allows really professional office. So it really limits what people can put there, and it's not necessarily in line with what expectations are for the property. So we have a lot of people that would be interested in going there, but they can't meet the O Office zoning district. This expands the allowable uses to include some of those industrial, quasi-industrial uses to be better in line with what people would expect to be allowed there in buildings of this type. As always, the physical design is controlled separately through the development pattern districts. So what you would see will look like an office park, but it may not necessarily be functioning that way. So it has some uses that might be a little bit more industrial than that. We did review the request in line with the City of Kettering zoning code per section 115312, which is the section dealing with zoning and pattern district map amendments. There are two parts to this code section. The first section requires the Planning Commission make certain findings in order for us to advance the application. And then the second section requires the Planning Commission to weigh in on certain criteria or certain factors for their consideration based on the evidence that's included. So in part one, there are 5 criteria there. I'm not going to go into each one of those, but I can tell you that we passed the first hurdle with making the application consistent with plans and policies. So we were able to make that finding. In the comprehensive plan, we have a land use plan which designates this particular site, which is kind of a magenta color. You follow the arrow over to the right to the table that's provided, and that says professional office and business park. So that's what it's saying it should be, and that's in line with what we're proposing. The other section, the other part of part one says that we have to satisfy at least one of the following. In this case, we satisfy both. The site's over an acre, and it is also contiguous to a like zoning districts. So it is next to some BP business park to the west. So it is adjacent to that. So moving to part two, these are the 6 matters for consideration. I'll go ahead and read out what the matter is, and then I'll provide to you what staff found during our analysis. So in section C1, we're asked to consider the extent to which the proposed amendment and proposed use are in compliance with and deviate from adopted plans, goals, and policies. As we just mentioned a second ago, it is in line with the comprehensive plan, so it is we're able to make that finding in the positive. Part 2, issue 2. C2 states that the suitability of the property in question for the uses permitted under the proposed zoning. In this case, the property is well suited to the uses permitted within the proposed district. The proposed zoning district allows the former use while also expanding those permitted uses. Taken together with the pattern district regulations that we talked about a second ago, those combine to provide a good framework for future uses commonly found within business park developments such as this. So we're able to make that finding for the second one. For issue 3, the adequacy of public facilities such as transportation, utilities, and other required public services to serve the proposed use. It's a developed site already. It's already being served by utilities, water, sewer, and it has a large street there serving it, Wilmington Pike. So we were able to make this finding as well. Issue 4, the effect of the rezoning on the surrounding uses. Essentially what we're doing is saying that what has always been there is going to continue to be okay. So there's not really any tangible effects on the surrounding uses. It's been a business park. It's going to continue to be a business park. So there's not really any net change there. Issue 5, the effect of the proposed rezoning on the economic viability of existing developed and vacant land within the city. The growth and development of the business park has always been anticipated and planned for by the city. The goal is to have a fully occupied, thriving, and vibrant business park to provide as an economic engine to serve the interests of the city of Kettering. So expanding the allowable uses on the site would be serving those interests. So we believe that this finding can be made as well. The final issue is issue 6, and that is whether or not the proposed rezoning is in the sole interest of the applicant. As I just said, the city's goal is to have a thriving business environment. That business environment in turn helps us pay for all of the services that we enjoy. So to that end, this is not in the sole interest of the applicant, but in the interest of the entire city. We were able to make all of the required findings. Evidence supports the request. As a summary of that, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer that at this time.
All right. Do any of the commissioners have questions for the applicant and the staff? Since it's same in the one. Nope. Okay. This being a public hearing, we are open to hear any comments from any members of the audience. Seeing that we have nobody in the audience today, do I have a recommendation to close the public hearing?
So move.
Second? Second from someone?
Second.
We had Carol first on that. All right. Call the roll on the closing of the public hearing, please, Connie.
Here. Mr. Rathman,
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher.
Yes.
Mr. Lackey,
Yes.
Mr. Woski.
Yes.
Mr. Urbis.
Yes. All right. Based upon that, could we have the staff recommendation, please?
Absolutely. Based on the evidence presented and the analysis and findings made within the staff report, staff recommends that the request for approval of a zoning map amendment to rezone the properties located at 2325 Wilmington Pike be forwarded to City Council with a recommendation for approval.
Any further comments from the commission?
Yeah.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the staff recommendation?
So moved.
And a second, please?
Wouldn't, we need Ms. Fisher to read the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right.
That's right. We're getting ahead of you.
I got ahead
Sorry
of
about
myself. Let's go with the motion first, Ms. Fisher. Sorry. Thank you.
All right, I do have the motion for 2325 Wilmington Pike, a zoning map amendment. Whereas an application has been received from Tom Robillard, Planning and Development Director for the City of Kettering, requesting approval of a zoning map amendment rezoning properties located at 2325 Wilmington Pike from O Office Zoning District to BP Business Park. And whereas the Planning Commission has reviewed the facts surrounding this request, including an oral and written report by city staff, which is incorporated herein, and held a public hearing on April 7th, 2025. And whereas this request constitutes approval of a rezoning from the O Office Zoning District to BP Business Park for properties located at 2325 Wilmington Pike. And whereas the Planning Commission adopts the findings of fact presented by staff in their staff report, which is incorporated into this motion, I move that the applicant's request for approval of a rezoning from O Office Zoning District to BP Business Park for properties located at 2325 Wilmington Pike, as shown on the attachment B, proposed zoning map, be recommended to City Council for approval. End of motion.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Fisher. May we have a motion to approve the motion?
We're looking for a second.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay.
All right. Call the roll.
Mrs. Fisher.
Yes.
Mr. Rathman,
Yes.
Mr. Lackey,
Yes.
Mr. Woski,
Yes.
and Mr. Urbis.
Yes. All right. With that being approved, we will move on to other business. Do we have any signing of plats this evening?
We do not have any plats tonight.
Okay. Very good. Any other communication and reports from the city staff?
Not tonight, no.
All right. Makes it easy. Any comments from the Planning Commission? All right, then may I have a motion to close the Planning Commission meeting of April 7th, 2025?
So move. Second.
With that, we don't need to call roll on that, do we? No. All right, with that, we will close the Planning Commission meeting of April 7th, 2025 at 7:14 p.m. Thank you very much.